Guys, bring dairy back.
Little Miss Dairy
People
Farmer.
don't understand. Well, it's like if you're
Hey, get on your soapbox and tell us all about
tell
it.
us about
I want to
the dairy
hear.
farmer.
like if you're having a meal and you're like, man, this doesn't have quite enough protein. Literally drink a glass of milk. Like that is a serving of protein. Or that's like 8 grams of protein per 8 ounces, you know? Like cheese, protein. Yogurt, protein.
Yeah.
You know?
Here's my thing is when I was younger, I felt like the thing was like have a glass of milk with your meal every
Second of
day,
your life.
whatever, and
Yeah.
it's gonna like make your bones stronger. And then I feel like it hit a point where I was like, yeah, well, you don't need it every day, but like every once in a while. And I'm confused how
Well,
the
at a
amount
certain
of
point
consumption that
in
you need.
your life, your body stops absorbing as much. So like when you're a kid, that it's true you should drink a lot because your bones need that. But like now as adults, I don't think it's necessary for us to get quite that much. Like
Okay,
vitamin
that makes
D,
sense.
you know?
That makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
I just remember all of the Got Milk posters. You know, everyone had a milk
They
mustache.
got milk.
I actually really would try every time I had a glass of milk to achieve that milk mustache.
Absolutely.
And it never showed up the same way.
No.
Obviously, now that I'm older, I realize
No.
it wasn't milk on their upper lip. It was
Right.
clearly like paint. But I
Yes.
was like always so distraught. I'm like, why can't I get my milk mustache
But
to look
it's
like
smart
theirs?
because then you drink more. Because
No, I
you're
know,
like,
it
oh,
totally
maybe I
worked
just
on
need
me.
another layer.
No,
you know?
I'm telling you, I fought hard for that whole Got Milk marketing campaign. I was hooked. I was hooked.
Unless you got a beard and then it kind of like stays there, you know what I mean?
Wait, what?
You know, like if you like have a little, like if you have like it's like you're a guy and you like have a like mustache.
I thought you were talking about a
I
milk
thought you were
beard,
talking
and I
about,
was
like-
like, are
I
you
know, I was like,
dumping the milk on your
no.
face?
I'm like so like a
I'm just
like a mustache, like a
Honestly,
like an
no.
upper
Guys,
lip mustache.
I
Is
meant to
that
say
what we're-
mustache.
In the podcast, these are my favorite moments when Kiara says something and we're both like, what?
I think I do it every
it's
time.
so
I mean, this
Like
is kind of my
I'm
life.
trying really hard to get on board, but I just don't know what you're saying.
And it's like in my mind, I'm having the whole conversation and like everyone's getting it, but then I come to reality. I'm like, what
you
am I
look
saying?
at us and we're like,
what have I been saying the last 5 minutes?
Hey, it's Casey,
I'm Meredith.
And this is Kiara.
and we're 3 best friends in a long-distance relationship.
We've learned some valuable lessons along the way over the last 10 years of being friends.
Now let's get to it because
Last week, you heard Casey's love stories and part of Mare's. Now, hear the deets on how Mare and Noah met and Kiara's journey to finding love.
I don't know. It was
That was a
just
hard
a
time.
really it was a hard summer. It was a
Yeah.
really sad summer. And then I moved to Okoboji, which is a town where I didn't know anyone, and I had a job that was
Yeah.
really hard and would come home and was alone. Like I just felt
Yeah.
so lonely and so sad and so like depressed. And I interned that year too, that school year at like a house of prayer in Sioux Center. And there was a night that they have like prophecy rooms, which if you're not familiar with prophecy, it's not necessarily like, you know, fortune telling or saying like, oh, this you are going to be a doctor when you grow up. Like it's not like that type of thing. It's a lot of like listening for the Holy Spirit, like words of encouragement, like, oh, I hear the Lord, like the Lord told me that like this scripture, like here's the scripture for you, like may it bless you type of thing. And sorry, I'm like out of breath.
Yeah. Take a breather.
Yeah, I mean,
You're fine.
talking about it it's tough. I
Yeah.
get it.
Sucks.
Getting you kind of worked up.
But when I was there, I went to the prophecy rooms the one night, and there was someone there that said, like, he's the God of the suddenlies. That was like a phrase that she said. And
Oh.
she was like, I don't know what is coming next in your life, but there's going to be like a sudden shift. Like that was like, she just really felt that from the Lord. And so that phrase, the God of the suddenlies, like kept kind of coming back up in my mind. And in November of that year, that fall, I was visiting my friend Sarah at Northwestern. I think I've talked about how I met Noah before, but I was visiting Sarah at
Give us a
Northwestern.
refresher.
Yeah, and we went to the Lodge, which is a bar in Orange City that is no longer there. R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Also, this isn't like a scummy bar. This is
No.
like a really, it's like a tavern.
It was, yes.
I almost want to say it's like a
It was
tavern
called,
type
it's called
feel.
The Lodge. It's very nice. Like there, yeah, I don't know. Everything in there was very high end. I don't know. It was really, it was a cute place. But so we were there and Noah was there and I don't know, he was cute. And so we started talking and I complimented his cheekbones and big eyes.
Of course you did.
does
Not
have
his
good
clavicle.
cheekbones.
Good cheekbones. And
Your guys' kids' cheekbones are going to be like,
well,
Yeah,
that's
they're
what
gonna be
I
amazing.
My
walked up
gosh.
to him and I was like, Noah Hop. Because I knew him from Northwestern because we both played soccer.
Oh, yeah, true.
So I walked up to him and I said, Noah Hop, you have nice cheekbones. And he said, Meredith Spiker,
look at
you have nice cheekbones.
Oh, okay.
and then we just started-
did it back to you.
Yeah, we just started like talking and then it was awesome. And then at the end of the night, I got so sad because he asked me for my Snapchat.
Those
And I was
Gen
like,
Zers.
oh man, because he's a little bit younger than me.
He's
So
a
I was
little
like,
younger,
oh
right? Yeah.
man, he's like 12. Like, you know, like who, no one in our like age group, like ask me for my phone number, like call me
Right,
or like
right.
text me. Don't
Right.
snap
Right,
me.
right.
I mean, like, honestly, like, don't call me. 'cause
Honestly,
that's, like,
yeah,
a lot
I
of
said that and then I
pressure,
was
but,
like, no,
shoot me
no,
a
no,
text.
shoot me, yeah, text or like a voice memo or something
like a-
cute. Like,
Just
yeah,
a voice
Like,
memo.
like you up?
you
You know,
are
just like something
Honestly,
cute.
you should have learned from Bryce.
totally.
Yeah.
But then anyway, after a while I did tell him like, hey, I hate this. Like, just text me. I'm like an adult. Like, just here's my number. And he
Yep,
said,
put him in his
he was
place.
like, he's not this type of guy to like give out his number or anything like that. So he was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I thought that's what girls wanted. Like, I thought that was the cool thing.
How old are you at this point, Mare?
At this point, I'm 22. He's fresh 21.
20? 21.
Fresh 21. Yep. He
Fresh
turned 21 in
21.
like October, and then November is when this happened.
Why did I
Got
think
it,
you were,
got it,
like,
got it.
24.
No, nope.
I know. I was also
No.
putting him a little too young.
Yeah, he's like 2 grades behind me, but then he graduated high school 2016. But then he
okay.
took a year off before Northwestern, so that he's 3 grades behind. But because I'm young for my grade and he's old for his grade,
Yeah.
we're like a year apart. Like July, October.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
But it works. But anyways, so but yeah, so then I gave my phone number, blah blah blah, and then the one time I was back there to visit Sarah again, we were going to Tags, which is another bar. Man, it was kind of sounds like
Just
we're
really
just
going
going
to
to
all the
bars.
bars.
Yikes.
To be honest.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? We
Yeah.
just had a good time.
Hey, we had
We
a
had
good
a good
time.
time.
at
We
Tags.
did.
We had a good time. at
Except
Tags.
Tags is no longer there anymore either.
I know. Rest in
Gosh.
peace.
Tags is no longer there. Double D's isn't there anymore, which was a bar across
Where
the
are people
street.
supposed to
Well,
go?
Double D's
Double
is
D's.
now, it was rebranded. Someone else bought it, and now it's called The Yard, and it's actually nice. Like, you don't feel like you're going to get assaulted there, which is nice.
Oh.
And then there's another bar in Alton that opened up
I'd hope
too.
not.
So, but anyways, basically everywhere that
assaulted.
we went, I know. Basically everywhere that
That's
we
bad.
went in college is closed down now, so that kind of sucks. So we're
True.
old.
Good point.
Anyways, we went there and
No reason to go back then.
yeah, we went there and this is funny. We so I went there with my friend Sarah and she was talking to another guy who was on the soccer team. And so like we went there and she like met up with him, like he was there. And then Noah, I had texted him and told him like, hey, you should come. Like, I'm here with Sarah and like this guy who you know who's on the soccer team. Which Noah knew him, but not like super well. Like they weren't like BFFs or anything. But yeah, he came and then so it was the 4 of us hanging out and then it was pretty late. So Noah was like, all right, well, I think I'm gonna head out. Like I'm gonna go home. And he goes up or he leaves and the guy that Sarah was talking to, he's an international student, so he's from Chile, but he speaks French, and he has this kind of like this like romantic accent. And he's like, Meredith.
Right.
He was
as
like,
he does.
he was like, do you want Noah to come back with us? Like with Sarah was
Stop
house
trying
sitting
to get
somewhere,
to seduce
so
you.
he was like, do you want him to come back with us? And I was like, well, yeah, but he like left, like. It's too late. Like he's already gone. He walks back in the bar, Noah does. And he comes over to the table and he says, classic newly 21. I forgot to close my tab. And so he walks up to the bar and starts closing. And so then this guy that Sarah's talking to turns to me and is like, he's like, Meredith, I'm going to make this happen. And so he walks up to the bar and he tells Noah, he's like, Noah, do you want to come back with us? Like, do you want to go home with Meredith? And Noah's like, what? I don't know. Like, if she wants me to, I don't know. And like, he just is so like timid and shy. And he told me later that this is what this guy said. He was like, your words say no, but your eyes say yes. Like, and so then he was like, all right, you got me. Like, so then the four of us went back to the house that Sarah was dog sitting at, and we hung out, and it was like that. That's what I love about a fresh new relationship, is the like staying up late, getting to know each other.
Yeah.
Where you're like so tired, you're almost delirious. So you just like talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. Like, yeah, I don't know. I was into Noah, but I was still coming off of like heartbreak. So I was not in a place where I was like, I'm ready to jump into something. I like really needed convincing, kind of. But like after that night of just like talking and getting to know him more, I was like, okay, like I could see this actually being a thing.
Like,
I think I was drawn to him because he felt really safe. Like,
that's cute.
I knew that he really, really liked me and cared for me. And I was like, I don't see him like he's not going to hurt me. Like, this is not someone who I would typically go for. So yeah, and then we started dating. Our first date was at Town Square, which is a coffee shop in town. And it was a breakfast date.
R.I.P.
R.I.P., which is also not there anymore.
Gosh, everywhere you went, it no longer exists.
LOL. It's a graveyard behind us. But it was a breakfast date, and we were there till lunch, and his car got stuck in the snow when we were trying to leave. And like, he is just, something I love about him is he's so like charismatic and like can just rally people to do things. He
got that riz.
He does. He like literally walked outside. He got out of the car and like flagged some guys down. They were in a pickup truck. He was like, hey, can you help us out? You know? And they were like, yeah, sure. Like, I don't know. It's just so easy for him to like talk to people, and like, he's likable. Like, if around town, even still, if I say like who I'm married to, the reaction, if they know him, is like, oh, I love him. Like, you're married to Noah?
So
or like, or they know his mom, who's really great. So they're like, oh yeah, like Joe's son. Like that, like, I just love, he just carries himself so well that people know him as like safe. They know him as like joyful and fun and caring. I just love him. So
he is the best.
We dated for 3 years before we got engaged. So we also waited a long time. We just really wanted to make sure we liked each other before jumping into anything. I was ready after like 6 months. But yeah, he was obviously still in school. Like, yeah, we just had a lot to figure out, but we did, and here we are.
It was the right timing.
That's us. Yeah. We used to do this thing. I forgot about this. I wanted to say this. We used to do this thing because I lived in Okoboji that first year. So we would I would have really late night drives back, which is like an hour and 20 minutes away from Orange City, where he lived and where we live now. And I would ask him for like motivation, like, man, I need motivation to stay awake on this drive. Or like if he was studying late night, he would ask me like, I need motivation to stay up and study. And we would send each other like old pictures of us, like it'd be like an old picture, and then like underneath it was like a description. So I would send like a little picture of me as a kid, like laying upside down on my bed, and be like, this is how I used to sleep because I thought it was funny. And like then I'd send another picture of like, I don't know, it was like, or he would send a picture of like, he used to be really chunky when he was in middle school. Like really chunky. And so he'd send me this and that and be like, this was me before I started running, or like things like that. So that was kind of how we got to know each other too, was just through like the motivation, I guess is what we would call it. So it was kind of fun. Yeah,
that's cute. We all just celebrated their wedding in October. Oh, that was probably the last time.
That's almost a year ago.
Almost a year ago.
Like basically a year ago.
Yeah.
Ew, it's already been that
I don't actually
long?
really like
Even
that.
Since we've seen each other, that's so gross.
I know.
That's so stupid. Ugh. But your wedding was so much fun, Mary. I know we kind of talked about this before, but like
Stunning.
it was so fun because I felt like it was such a celebration of love, like
Yeah.
in so many ways, not just like obviously you know or the main factor of it, but it was like you this part of your life and this part of Noah's life, and then
Totally.
you I don't know, it was super fun.
Yeah.
And
I
getting
cried so
married
many
when you're in
times.
your so did so did I think when you get married in your older 20s, the wedding just goes better.
Sure,
That was
yeah.
like the one thing
Well,
about
and
my
like
wedding. I was
I
like,
could plan.
ew.
I mean, I did plan the majority of
Right.
it. You know, like my sister got married young, and I think if I remember correctly, my mom just did a lot for it, just because she was young and didn't really know what to do. And but I got to have like my tastes, like we got to have our tastes all throughout it. And like my mom mentioned this, like when we were together for so long, and we are like dating, there were some like really hard times. Like there was a period of time where we like took a break. We talk
Oh,
about
yeah, I
that.
remember
He
that. I
he
Oh
took
remember
like
that.
a 2 week break at one point, and Noah will talk about that as his Dance Moms era. He watched Dance
Oh
Moms
my
to
gosh.
like when he was sad.
my
His friend Clayton, they like lived together, and Clayton would come upstairs and be like, "It's time for Dance Moms," and they would
It's
just like pull
time
it up
for
on YouTube
Dance
and watch it.
Moms.
But yeah, like there were just some like hard times when we were dating, and so our wedding was really a celebration of like, no, we fought for this, and now we're
Yeah.
ready. Like,
Yeah.
and you could just like feel that there, that it was like not just like, oh, we're doing this because it's the next step. It was like, no, we
Right.
are actively like wanting this and deciding it, and we're fighting for this.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think for us
Huh.
too, like we've definitely felt that. And that was probably the longest time we've really spent with Noah. I know we went to Denver together, and that was really fun too, but I think seeing him, especially with his family and with his friends, like that was our time to like get to know him and get to know you guys as a couple, really, because up until that point it was a
Yeah.
lot of like FaceTimes, getting to know him and
Yeah.
whatnot. So
Yeah.
like,
And just like short interactions.
Yeah.
And not, obviously the FaceTime that we were able to get with Bryce, which is a super unique situation. So
Totally.
but it was super fun when we were at your wedding. We were staying with Meredith, so it was me, Bryce, Kiara, and Meredith all staying in the house together before your wedding. It was so much
It
fun.
was so
really
fun. It was so
fun.
But then it was so much fun. And then there was one night, then I think it was your dress rehearsal, and Noah is, he's starting to move all this stuff into your house, and he's like trying to like get dressed, but he doesn't know where things are because like things are still getting like
Yeah.
moved around. And then he's like getting dressed, and you're gone at this point. So it's just me, Bryce, Kiara, and Noah. And he walks in, he goes, does this look good? Should I wear something else? And it was so
remember
fun
that.
to like have him in like that moment, because we had never really had anything like that before. And it was
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it was like the four of us bonding and like having that
Yeah.
time that we
Getting dressed for the dress rehearsal.
legit.
Yes.
Oh, I love
Yes.
that. Well, he looked
It was
good,
a lot
so
of
good
fun.
job.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. I think we
Aw.
told him to like change something. I can't
Sure.
remember.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was the
but
pant color or socks or something.
I want to say the pants, because the
Pants,
pants
okay.
keep kind of coming to mind
Okay,
too.
okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was
I love
like a fun
that.
bonding moment. And
Yeah.
obviously that's one thing that really sucks about like your relationship, Meredith, but also for you, Kiara. Like we're just not able to like experience those big moments together. But it's also really fun when we get to come together and like meet that significant other and realize that like it just makes sense. And
Yeah.
then because it makes sense with them, it's automatically gonna make sense with us. Like
Totally.
if you say it's all good and like you're like, no, I promise, like this is the guy, then I'm like, all right, cool, I'm rocking with him too. And then
Yeah.
it just makes sense. Like
works.
and it works in our group. And
The other day,
yeah,
Noah and I were in the car, and I started laughing, and he was like, "What are you laughing about?" And I was thinking about the scenario, and it genuinely made me laugh out loud. I was thinking about a scenario where the three of us, the six of us would take like a couples trip, like Casey,
boy.
Bryce, Kiara, Colton, and me and Noah. And I was thinking
Yeah.
about like, oh, what would that be like? Like, I think Noah and Colton would really like get along. And then I just had this thought that made me laugh out loud of like, it would honestly be the four of us sitting in one corner, like laughing and reminiscing, and then Colton and Noah sitting on the other side being like, do you know what they're talking about? Like almost like a trauma bond. They would have to be friends because like we're just talking to each other.
That was
And you're sitting in the
100%
car
like,
with this fake scenario in your head,
totally
just like
dying laughing. And I told him that, and he was
That's
like,
so
"You're
funny.
mean."
you're like, you're talking about things about me. That's 100% is how we'll
No,
pan
I'm sure.
out
I'm sure
whenever we
Bryce
do
would.
that.
I'm sure Bryce would get in
Totally.
there and talk.
Yeah,
talk to the
and
boys.
or to be
But, I mean, there
that
would
wouldn't be
definitely
the whole
be a
time.
moment. There would definitely be a moment where the four of us would just need to be like,
We have to
What's
reminisce.
We have to.
yeah.
We never get to talk anymore, so
I know, never ever. Okay, for me, I am the only non-married of us three, so I feel like I have
she's
had
a loser.
different
I'm just
journey.
kidding. I'm sorry.
Oh my god,
just kidding.
She's the worst just because she's not married.
Actually, she can do anything she
Honestly,
wants. She has absolute
She can
freedom.
spend her money
because-
with using girl math because she's
Yeah.
not married.
I
and
do
no one's
do
gonna
that.
make fun of you.
I am broke and it's my fault, and I have only my income to rely on, actually. So there's that. But I mean, I guess my dating history isn't even too long. For me in high school, I only dated one guy, and honestly, he was great. I don't even have any qualms about
I forgot
him.
about him.
Yeah. I don't feel like I'm gonna name drop, but my friends know who he is, and he was great.
But
just
we know.
just wasn't the one for me.
He was like a
but,
really good friend.
He was a really good friend, essentially. A really, really, really good friend. But then when I got to college, I feel like that's when my world was like, and that's really obviously like dating in our 20s, whatever. That was like beginning of college, trying to figure out what kind of guy I actually do want to date. Like knowing the good qualities of who I dated in high school, but like I needed some more like spunk. I needed some more pizzazz, if you will. And actually, I had a friend set me up with someone who, it was really good. It was really great. I actually kind of believed that he could be my person, but come to find out, the Lord was telling him otherwise.
I hate that.
Long story short. I feel like we were like in alignment. He was like just a fun guy. And I feel like we had a great time together, but come to find out, the girl that had set us up with, she too felt like the Lord was telling her otherwise. So they, ended up together. They have kids. Bless their hearts. Honestly,
They're married.
No,
yeah.
no
Literally,
hard feelings. No,
Because it all worked out.
It all worked out.
You
literally doesn't even
You
matter.
are such a different
It's just
person
funny.
now.
Exactly.
It's-
It wouldn't have worked
it's
out
just
anyways.
funny.
So
It's funny.
Totally.
it's all for the good. It's just is one of those funny stories like that I can like look back and they
that's
were
kinda
there
like,
for that.
That's
And
silly.
Mm-hmm.
it was hard in
Yeah.
the moment, but here we are today.
You truly were like a Proverbs 31
I was a
woman, and it was like,
I still have the letter somewhere. He told me I was a
Did he
Proverbs.
tell you that?
He wrote me a letter during fall break that I was
Yes,
a
and he
Proverbs
said
31
you're-
woman. You don't remember that? And he put it under my
I
pillow
don't.
before he left for the cross country match, and who knows
Oh my
where
gosh.
with Bryce.
Though,
match.
I think
It's not a
honestly-
cross-country match.
Well,
meat.
what is it? Oh, meat. Okay.
Honestly, the funniest part of all of this is that you went to their wedding
I did.
in Pennsylvania.
You
Okay,
have to say
wedding,
that.
Okay. This is the second part. Okay, so we get the gist. I just said it. Well, the funny thing was they meet, they start dating, they get married probably a year and a half after, we broke it
Yes.
off, obviously, because the Lord was telling him to marry her or whatever.
Wow.
Invited me to the wedding. Okay. Yes to the wedding, but also wedding reception. So I only went to the wedding reception because that was closer in distance than the actual wedding. So I only went to the wedding reception. But I think I can say this on the pod.
Yeah.
And
And if you say it and you hate it, we'll cut it.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. I don't think I'm gonna hate it. I think this will be funny. So I go to the reception.
I'm loving it all.
Yeah,
Me too.
this is bring back memories. Okay, mind you, Meredith is there with one of our other friends, Steven. So we go together. And we go to the reception. So it's not like too ceremony. It's obviously reception, food and stuff, food and games. So we go to the line, kind of talk to them like, hey, congratulations. Well, the mom.
Yeah, it's like they have like the receiving line, where you go through and you meet the family and all of that.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it. Well, the mom of the, recent groom, shakes my hand. I'm like, oh yeah, like I'm Kiara. And she's like, oh, you're Kiara. Oh. I have never felt more awkward in my life. That is probably top tier moment.
We left immediately after that.
Oh, immediately. I said
immediately after that.
Yeah, probably took some food, maybe put it in our bags to like secure for later. Said maybe nice to see you. Don't know why we came after all, but we did get some free food.
Why?
Got secondhand embarrassment.
What possessed you to go?
Also,
I
thought about this. I think this was I personally didn't have a reason other than like me being a friend of Kiara, but I was like, I love weddings. I love a reason to dress up. I'll go. And like Steven and I lived in the same town, and it was, the reception was like close to us. So we were like, we're going to go. And then Kiara knew we were going. So, and this was, I think, Kiara realizing that saying no to things is okay.
I think
that was part of it. Is like, they invited me. I have to go to be nice, but
100%.
No, you did not have to.
Right,
but it ended up being like
also such a good
most
story.
Awkward. The best story.
The best story.
One of the most awkward days ever. Like
no, 100%.
Like it's.
Did you have like a pit in your stomach when you were there?
Honestly, I can't remember, but I'm sure that I did. I'm sure it was one of those like, this is weird. It's also like kind of fun seeing her because at the time in college she was a good friend. So like in some way I was like, oh, I do want to celebrate you, but it just happens to be you married this guy that you sent me.
Well, and if I'm them, I'm thinking like when we're making the guest list, if I'm them, I'm thinking, okay,
she's not on it.
Well, I'm
she's
thinking
not gonna
like,
come,
do
probably.
we invite her? Right. And they're like, well, we should invite her. There's no way she's gonna come.
Right. No, I wanted to show my face.
And then here she comes.
I wanted to say no. I am here and your mom knows who I am. So honestly, that is the conversation I needed. It was as awkward as it was. It was some clarity of like, yeah, I'm fine. You live your little life. And now they have like 12 kids. So good for them. I could not be a mother right now. So
yeah, totally.
I am happy for them. Best of luck to you.
That is so funny.
So that was one of my first college relationships, and that turned out like that.
Kiki unfiltered.
Kiki unfiltered. Yeah, the later the night that it gets, the more unfiltered. Mind you, we're all 3 in different time zones. If you're new listeners, we're 3 different time zones, and I'm the latest time zone, so just the thoughts are unfiltered.
And she also gets
midnight.
Sleepiest, the fastest out of all of
100%.
us. We call her sleep drunk.
I call her sleep drunk. Yep, I'm almost hit that. When I was laying down, I definitely hit it, but now I'm kind of revived.
Totally, I could see your
She's
eyes
getting fired up.
She does this thing where one eye blinks before the other, like a lizard.
I know.
I saw that.
She's getting Kiara. You're getting blinky.
I'm getting blinky. It's because my freaking eyes are getting dry, and I have to get some kind of lubrication up in them.
I know, but why close one eye at a time? That just doesn't.
I don't do it on purpose. I do it on accident. It's just because I'm tired.
It's like one eye closed, and then as that eye is opening, the other one shut.
Shut up! I don't do it on purpose.
I see my pants.
I just need some wet eyes.
Funny.
Okay. Anyway, but she's up. She's unfiltered.
Anyways, I'm up and ready.
Raw, and
I'm unfiltered.
it.
So here we are. So okay, that was freshman year. Kind of got heartbroken. Was pretty upset. Right. Oh, mind you, he did this whole celebration for me on my birthday. I don't know if you remember that. Like, he took me for a walk, told me all these things that he liked about me, and then surprised me at freaking Applebee's, which was like our go-to spot. LOL. And I was like, this is so amazing. No. I just had to throw that in there. So fast forward to the next year. Also won't name this individual, but I start kind of being friends with a girl and guy. There's like a trio of us, and we just were we're good friends, let's say, all three of us.
That was a special group that you guys
it
had
was a
there.
special group. Still unclear when that began, but here we are. And the guy at the time was on the baseball team, so that was, obviously kind
Red
of
flag number 1.
well, it should have been, but to me it was intriguing flag. I was like, okay, haven't dated the sporty type in that sense, cross country, but like baseball, okay.
Hey, what are you trying to say?
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
No, you could not be more correct. You could not be more
That
correct.
is so funny.
So naturally that was kind of attractive about him, but knowing just who he was, I didn't think that I wanted to be involved with him because he didn't have the best reputation with the ladies, let's say. But I was like, you know what? I can put that past. I will just be friends with him, and that's it. Well, roll around to I think around Valentine's Day of sophomore year. So this would have been 2016 ish. I want to say, is that right? Am I doing that math right?
Yes.
Or was it
No.
Yeah.
No, it would have been 2015.
Nope. Sophomore year, 2016.
Because I think it was sophomore year.
We
when
graduated in 2016.
Yes, that's sophomore year.
I think it was all before that in that second semester. Believe it or not.
I know 100% I'm right.
It's okay. We say it every time. We say it every time, but not good at math. Well, anyways, it was around Valentine's Day, and this man brings me flowers, buys me this emoji pillow, the infamous emoji pillow that I'll go into later. I know. No, not a poop emoji. It was the kissy
No, it was
emoji.
kissy. With
Where
did the
wink.
poop emoji one come from? Oh no, you had a face. You had a mask. That was the poop emoji. I have a picture of it.
Yeah.
I'll share it.
Yeah, Mare had
I'll
a
share
yeah. Not that. So, anyways, flowers. If you can envision on your iPhone the kissing emoji, but in a pillow form, it looked just like that. So naturally, I'm like, this is amazing. I'm being showered with gifts. That is my top love language.
Yes.
So I'm getting gifts. I'm getting affirmations from this guy that I didn't think I was his type, but we're friends. Okay, we're hitting it off. So we go on a couple dates, let's say, here and there throughout our spring semester. And at the time, I was interested in him, but I also had someone else that I was like, he was kind of my standard, and that sounds really bad, but I mean, I'll just say that this baseball guy, I just knew his reputation, and I had someone else that I was like, he's a great guy, and I don't know if there's anything there. I also think he's a friend, so I was just trying to I wouldn't say juggle, but mentally, emotionally be like, which one could I actually end up seeing myself with? So I ended up cutting it off with said baseball guy. Come to find out, there was just a whole slew of events that happened after I had cut it off, mind you. But I always had an inkling in my gut that there was something between him and one of my friends, and I turned out that I was right. So naturally, we didn't see each other really until probably graduation day. And I don't even think at that point we really had any conversations. And the three of us that were so tight quickly became just me because it quickly just turned into being just me. Which
just
is
seeing
fine.
for the listener, she had 3 fingers up and just turned into one. Just
3 fingers up and just just pointer finger. And honestly, I'm gonna spare a lot of the details. It just proved a fear that I have, and I think that was the first time that I was like, oh wow, I was right about this fear that someone I was interested in was gonna go after a friend. So,
and not only once but twice now at this point is what we're doing.
Twice now at this point. Yeah, exactly. 2 guys. The only 2 guys really in college I was interested in. Freshman year and sophomore year. It happened twice. So I was like, okay, good to know. Graduated Heston. We all transferred to Northwestern. And honestly, I didn't really date a ton at Northwestern. I was too focused on being sad and hating
nostalgic
my
for
life.
Heston.
Yeah. And I think there was maybe 1 or 2 potentials, but didn't turn into anything. So yeah, needless to say, graduated Northwestern, wasn't really anyone interested there. And then I pretty much immediately that fall went right into the internship at my church, and there was this I guess rule that like the focus of your internship is to like kind of like sharpen your gifts and to be like involved in the community. And so one of the things was like to like not date, whatever. Honestly, there wasn't even anyone interested or that I was interested in anyway. But it was just kind of funny. I was like, well, now that I'm ready to date, can't really date. But anyways, fast forward just in my lower 20s, honestly, I would get on some dating apps, would get off the dating apps, would be interested in someone, find out they were weird, would get off of them. So it just really was this up and down for me. And at this point,
I remember when you downloaded Bumble and you were like telling us about
Bumble. That was probably the first one that I downloaded, actually. It was okay. I only met up with one person on there because it kind of freaked me out, and I don't know why, to be honest. But so I was off of it for a while. I actually end up finding someone at work that I was interested in, which was surprising to me because I was like, oh, I'm gonna find someone on the apps, and then this was in 2019 or
yeah,
20?
I think it was
sounds right.
2019, I'm gonna say.
Maybe 1920.
Yeah, maybe 20.
Somewhere in that time.
Regardless, yeah, someone that I worked with, but like didn't really know who he was because we had a pretty big staff. He asked me out. We went on our first date. Actually hit it off. This is a good story about that time, and then it goes downhill. But I'm gonna start with the high, and the high was after our first date. I voice memoed my friends of like how I thought the date went, everything, probably like a minute long voice memo, sent it, didn't think anything about it, realized I'm like, no one's saying anything. And it was like friends here that like knew him, so like could kind of like, was trying to get the vibes. Well, come to find out, I accidentally sent him the voice memo.
Yes. Oh
I sent him the voice memo about what I thought about him. So, at that point we kind of had to have a pretty open relationship, or so I thought.
Open relationship as in
careful
not
with that
open,
word.
Like,
open.
Sorry.
Careful with that
You
word.
mean open conversation? Yes.
Yeah. Open conversation.
Well, see, that's maybe where the communication started to fall, because I think he took open relationship to the next level.
Oh, yeah, he meant open, like he can date someone while we're dating.
I think he just got a little confused.
Okay, so
he got a little confused.
Okay, so that's on him for being confused. So yes, we date for probably a good 8 months, and there's a lot of details there, but just he was my first actual boyfriend that I had since that high school guy. So I was trying to figure it out, and even the guys that I said before, like I dated them, but I guess I wouldn't have labeled it as something serious. But this was the first time that I was like, dating someone seriously.
Facebook official, will say, for lack of a better term.
Like your adult relationship.
Relationship. Yep. So I think we were definitely both like learning as we went, but it was the first person that I could like see, a future with. But I really feel like around the 8-month mark, I was just like, I don't know, something in me was like telling me that this wasn't it. I mean, there was tons of factors. So we cut it off. He moved away anyway, so it kind of like worked out. And I was sad for a little bit, but then I was like, oh, I'll be fine. I'll, muster up the courage to continue with life. Because it was a heartbreak, but, now looking back, I was like, that was not a heartbreak. Well, come to find out, you know who you are. That the whole time, pretty much that we were dating, he was dating an ex while we were dating. So that's just the fun tea, is that not only is this a history in my, relationship history, and I told him that up front, like, hey, like I feel a little anxious sometimes when knowing guys have either really close girlfriends or histories with girlfriends, just because two guys, the only two guys that I've been really interested in, ended up going and either marrying them or whatever. So I'm like, this is my history, and I'm just telling you up front, like I don't want to be blindsided, and I might need some confirmation every once in a while that this is not the case. Well, he gave me that confirmation, so I got what I wanted,
but was lying.
But was freaking lying until the end.
Despicable.
come to find out, yeah, not only was he dating someone else, was living with this person, so, and moved cross country with her. So I definitely feel like this is one of those stories that could be tapped into as like, this is not as extreme as like he had like a whole nother family in life and was married, but I got a
Right.
glimpse of
it
that.
was like a double life.
It was a double life. It was a double
I mean, other
life.
than like marriage, like you guys weren't
Yeah,
married and he wasn't
exactly.
married to them, but it was like deep relationships.
100%.
Did she know?
See, that's the
Did she know
thing,
that you guys were
is
dating?
I don't know that.
Well, and I don't want to blame her. Like she's not
Yeah.
the enemy. He's
Right. We
the
don't know her.
scum.
We don't know her story.
They are
We don't
both
know
in
her
the
story.
wrong. They are both in the wrong, but I do think that he was the one in the relationship
Yeah.
with me. So he
Yes.
should have either cut it off
Maybe
when he
dated
knew,
like one person.
maybe dated one person, me
Totally.
or her. At that point, just
Or
date
like
her
neither.
and not drag
If
me
you're-
into it.
If you're at that
Yeah.
place where you're doing that, don't date anyone.
No, 100%.
Go get
You need a
help.
break. You need a break from, because when you date somebody, you are like opening up yourself and they're opening up to you. They're giving you the gift of their vulnerability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You absolutely cannot squander that.
Or
Yeah,
I
find
think
someone who
that's-
wants an open relationship. Like some
Right.
people are in open relationships. Find someone who
Exactly.
is.
Yeah.
Don't
Find
date someone
that.
who doesn't want that.
I maybe
No.
should have been
And
more
who-
clear.
And who
I
has
don't want that.
explicitly told you, these are my
Yeah.
insecurities.
Right.
Can you please help me through this?
Right.
And I'm warning you now. Like,
And guys,
oh my gosh,
you've
like, this
listened.
just
If you've
fires
been
me
listening from
up.
the beginning,
I'm so
you
mad.
know. I mean, even if you've just listened to this one episode, you know, Kiara is the most like, you deserve the world. You deserve the world. And so it is so like agonizing to watch you go through that, because
Mhm.
you, of anyone, no one deserves that, but you least of all.
Or you just
That's
deserve to be
nice.
happy and feeling stable and confident in who you are and in your
Yeah.
relationship. Like, I remember, I was just like, oh, it's like sweet baby angel. Like, how do I,
I
hold
know.
you?
I
How do
wanted-
like,
I wanted to
protect
crawl
you
up.
and save you? Like, it was
Yeah.
it was horrible. Like, being across the country from you as you're going through that was terrible.
It was,
And
it was awful.
it was so hard to watch you in that
Yeah.
state. It was
Aw.
terrible.
Well, thank you.
So don't cheat, because
just
that's the
don't
worst.
freaking
You're
cheat on
scum.
anyone. I mean, it's funny because you always think like that can never happen to me. Like surely I would. No, I went our whole relationship. It ended,
Yeah.
and then I found out the whole
Yeah, you didn't know
relationship.
till after.
So I didn't know until after, and honestly, that is the one thing that I am.
He told you
thankful
too,
for.
right?
Yeah, he did.
That's
Tell
the cherry
me.
on top, is that he was like,
The
oh, here's
cherry on
this.
top. Mind you, I am
Yeah.
dating someone amazing now, and it was in the middle of our relationship when he told me. So I just know that he knew I was happy and wanted to drop this freaking bomb on me and say,
Yeah.
deal with
Mhm.
this. I feel sorry, but I'm gonna just tell you all the stuff that I put you through, when I know
Yeah.
full well he's
That
not
you
sorry.
are fine without me.
100%. 100%. And I do think, yeah, like I said, you always think that can happen to me. Okay, now I can say I have been cheated on. I can say that and know that and be okay with that, because of the fact that I am honestly able to discern really well now, even in my friends' relationships here. Like, I actually see that trait of my ex that actually turned into this, that turned into that, and I'm just telling you it wasn't good. Like, I'm pretty
Yeah.
discerning now, and I
Yeah.
can kind of see major red flags, whereas prior I think I was just clouded by a lot of things. I mean, the main one being like a new relationship, and I'm trying to figure it out, and ooh, like I'm in love with him, or I think I'm in love with him, and I don't know, and whatever. And when you get all of these like heightened emotions, it definitely, like, you get the love goggles on. But now that that's been ripped away, I really took some time to say, okay, I mean, and this was before I knew about the cheating. We had ended, and I took some time for myself, and then was like, I'm just gonna give Hinge a whirl, just kicks and gigs, because at that time I had done a lot of just like work within myself of like what was not working in my previous relationship, and there was a lot. So I'm like, it can only go up from here, really. But I was honestly just getting on there to try to date again, and ended up meeting my now boyfriend on Hinge, and we've been dating for over a year now. And
The app designed to be deleted.
Amen.
what?
That's their
What'd you say?
slogan.
Oh,
The app designed to be
design.
deleted.
Designed to be deleted.
I didn't hear the app, and I just hear designed to be deleted. I'm like, I don't know what you're saying. No, yes, and we did delete that. We said burp, 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 delete.
Yep.
And I do, yeah, burp, burp, burp. And I do think that there's been highs and lows in my personal dating past, but one thing that I am thankful about who cheated on me previous to Colton is like I am just so like confident with our relationship and knowing that same thing for him. I brought him up of like, hey, this is like kind of some history, and I just like there's not even a doubt in my mind that something like that could happen between us. Just like I am so like aware of like his character and his heart, and he's just like the best kind-hearted guy, and that's something that I'm now realizing. I was like, yeah, I should have been looking for that before, but like Colton has that 100%. Of the other guys didn't. They were chasing clout, they were chasing trying to be the best at what they did, or trying to look cool, or trying to whatever, and I'm like, I'm not about that. I just want someone who's humble, kind, and like loves on the people in their life. And that was one of the first things that I heard from his friends when I met them was like, we just love Colton. We're just so obsessed with him. Like couldn't stop saying his praises. And I was like, this is a major turn on, because I'm like, I am not used to that in the past. Honestly,
Yeah.
the previous guys, I don't even know who their friends would be. But here he has like more friends than I have. And they're all like saying his.
Kiara has a lot of
something,
friends.
you
Just
guys.
saying a lot,
That is
'cause I do
literally
have-
saying something.
I do have a lot
Yeah.
of friends, and he has more friends than me. I swear.
Wow.
But they were all just like saying such amazing things. So I think that my past has taught me to what to look out for, and now like I seeing a future with this person that has all these qualities that I didn't even know that I needed, because he's so opposite of everyone else that it's like the best thing for me. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's just my
You know how I knew
update.
that your previous ex was not the
Uh-oh.
one?
What?
He never followed me back on Instagram.
You did say that before. You did.
And
say
guess
that
what? I
before.
just followed Colton the other day, and what did he do? He
Follow
followed
back.
back.
Look at that. He actually told me that recently. He was like, guess who just followed me? I was like, I didn't know. I was like, I could have
thought
sworn
that
you
you had
guys
been
were
following him.
Yeah, that's what
I know, I
I
thought I was.
I've been following him for like
Following?
a long
Ooh,
time.
well,
I
he
know.
doesn't
What
post
is
at
he?
all, so don't expect
No, but he
anything.
likes. But he likes.
He
my
likes.
stuff.
He likes. He
Yeah,
never.
he's really
he never
good at
posts.
that.
I think
Yeah.
he posted last
Yeah.
like 2012, maybe.
Oh.
So don't
So
expect
can
that.
I say
but
something
expect
like
some
really
likes.
funny?
Please.
So going back to, the lame-o guy that
Okay, yeah,
whose
yeah,
name is not even
We
worth
hate him.
mentioning. Mare and I, like, as you guys were going through, like, you were like texting us and you were just like, oh, like, I just don't know what to do and blah, 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 blah. So you guys were kind of in like that like dead period. Do you remember like for a month you guys were just kind of like not really talking /
Wait.
we didn't really know what you were.
At the end of their relationship?
Yes, kind of at the end.
Okay.
You and I texted each other, Mare, and we were like, I can't remember if it was me or you, but we were like,
I think
I remember this.
so do we still have to follow this guy on Instagram?
I remember that.
Because I was holding out, being like, maybe he'll follow me
Yep.
back.
I remember.
So I
you said
texted.
that
I was
to
like,
me.
so like, are we still following this guy or what?
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I'm dead. No,
And like
please
he was
don't.
pretty active. Like he posted a
Oh,
ton
yeah.
of stuff. So it was like there was always something to look at. But it was so funny because
follow
I was
him
like,
anymore.
well,
It's
I literally
funny.
have zero reason to follow you.
No,
and now,
Not that
like,
he ever
obviously,
really
I
posted
was
about
like,
you, anyways.
No, he never did. He probably was
I
too
mean,
busy.
Colton doesn't either, but Colton doesn't post about anything.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
it's
No, the
fine.
other guy was probably too busy just living life with his other girlfriends. So dumb, stupid, and dumb. If you guys are
Dumb.
going through
Stupid
any
and
kind of or like know of your partner who's been cheating, like I've been there. I feel your pain. We can get this through together. I am now like way far out from that. So
Kiara's
if you need
ready.
a big sister moment, I now feel confident to help walk someone through that season of life. I don't think I would have always
Yeah.
said that, but I now am at that point. So, and if you are going through
Yay.
that, just know it sucks and it's always them and it's never you. So
totally.
Yep.
that's the biggest thing I've had to
Yep.
say. Like, oh well, I
Hurt
should have
people
known
hurt
this.
people.
Yeah, but no, it's
Mm-mm.
not. It's not you.
Mm-mm.
It's them. So
Yeah.
I'm so happy now.
I think, yeah.
you know.
I think the super fun thing about all three of us is that pretty much any scenario we've probably gone through it at
Totally.
least one of us. And
I
so
would agree.
like if you have any like, oh, what should I do about this? What should I do about this? Literally, we'd love to talk about it because collectively, I'm sure we could come up with
100%.
what's the right thing to do, or definitely what you shouldn't do. I know
Yeah.
that
Right.
we could probably
We
come
could,
up
yeah,
with
yeah,
that
yeah. We
a
could
lot,
definitely do that
a
one.
lot.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, so fun that we've always been there for each other through all of these things, and we've been able to, you know, help each other as best we can from
Yeah.
being where we are. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
man,
All 3 different stories, but
yeah.
okay, I also put in my story because a lot of my friends and listeners kind of just know the background of my story of like my ex that was awful, cheated on me, whatnot. And I post on my story to see who else has been cheated on and kind of the story of how they found out. And I thought that was going to be the interesting part because how I found out was him telling me like a year later that pretty much our whole relationship, he had cheated on me. So, anyways, I figured that we could just kind of go through some of these DMs that I got. I'll leave everyone unnamed because privacy.
Yeah.
Privacy.
I'm actually
But
so obsessed. I cannot wait to hear these.
Same.
I know
I'm very,
they're kind of juicy. Honestly, about half of them said which time, which means that a lot of people have unfortunately, and these were all women in my DMs, have been cheated on more than once, which is really,
I
really sad.
hate that.
Guys, do you
I
think? Do you
know.
believe once a cheater, always a cheater?
I don't.
No,
That's hard for me.
No, I don't, because I think people can
Okay.
change.
Yeah.
Because I think people can have different intentions in one. Like comparing yourself as an 18-year-old cheater to a 30-year-old person who's grown a lot, I don't think is fair.
Yeah.
But I think if you've cheated twice, you have a problem.
There's something to work on.
Yes. And
There's
I think
a
the level
root.
of cheating, I think the level of
Shoot.
cheating too, like obviously you have your emotional cheater and then you have the obvious one, which everyone assumes is the physical cheating side of
The
it.
physical one. Yeah.
I think emotional is, I would argue in some senses, is more detrimental. But I mean, it depends how deep you go into it. Like if you like don't change your behavior afterwards, you're absolutely habitual and
Yeah.
you should not be trusted. But if you like show genuine remorse and you're like, I am so sorry, one thing led to another, here I am, because marriages can be saved. So that's why I'm like, I can't say once a cheater, always a cheater.
Yeah.
But
That's a good point.
That's really good.
Shoot.
I don't know.
'Cause
Sorry.
I was almost going to say yes, but you kind of gave me something to think about.
Yeah.
I heard on the What We Said podcast, they were talking about that. And
Oh, yeah.
and I forget who it was. Maybe it was Chelsea. She said, they honestly both sound the same. So I can never really tell. But one of them
We
said,
probably
like,
sound the same too, though.
oh, we totally do.
Yeah.
Actually,
They actually don't know who's who.
Actually, one of my friends from back home, I was in Pennsylvania last week, and one of my friends said, like, I can tell Casey apart from you two, but I cannot tell if it's Kiara or Meredith talking, which I thought was so
Really?
funny. Yeah. But anyways,
that is funny.
this girl,
Probably because I talk like a man.
You have a deep voice.
this girl on this podcast was saying, like, whatever it, like, cheating or like stuff like that, toxic behavior, there's always a root. So like whatever the
Yeah.
issue is, whatever you're searching for, until you fix that, you likely will continue cheating.
Amen.
Yeah.
Or you will
Yeah,
continue
I
whatever
agree.
toxic trait. But until, so like, again, like, but that's what's like, as from the Christian perspective, that's like redemption, you know, like God comes in
Mhm.
and fixes us, or he shows us a way to find healing, whether that's through like a counselor or through whatever, to like, that's part of the old is gone and the new has come.
Yeah. I 100% agree with that. And I do feel like a lot of these really immature, like I say younger because like younger and just immature guys that really don't ever get to the root of like anything, I think could be habitual cheaters because they're just not, they haven't got to the root of their problems, whether that could be a multitude of things. But I feel like to their point, to Casey's point, it's like people can change, and I think it would be awful as a human to be like, they're like, someone is never going to change. Like they also could not. That's kind of up to them. But I mean, I like to think that some of these stories that like their exes are different now, and probably half of them are married and like are in a stable, like loving relationship. But whatever the circumstance was, whatever the phase of life and immaturity like that was going on in their lives, like they, you know, acted in an awful way and hurt someone in the process. And I think that's something to like acknowledge, like, okay, you made this decision, that's you hurt someone, now fix your shit.
Yeah.
And then move on with your life.
Yeah, I mean, and like podcasts that I talk about literally every episode, The Basement with Tim Ross, he talks about like once you've done something like that, you have to put yourself on a tight leash, and you need to have so many people around you that are like, okay, you are not allowed to do this by yourself, truly, because you just need to be held accountable. And like you just, anytime you're in a new situation, or if it's like a one-on-one with you and like the opposite sex, whether you're at work or whatever, like set up boundaries from the beginning, because you've lost that privilege to have a free relationship with that person, whatever it may be, maybe like a friendship or whatever. You've lost that privilege. And it's not like you're, I think sometimes we can take it too far and like, okay, well, delete all the women in your phone, like delete all contact from anybody.
That's a whole other toxic
and that's
behavior.
too much.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But like you just lost those privileges because we can't trust you to like moving forward to continue in a relationship if what you did before, this is what you were doing, you can't do that anymore. You just can't.
And I honestly think some people, because it's not just universally men, women cheat too, but I think that a lot of times there isn't that boundary put up in place before getting into a new relationship, so the lines can be blurred. I honestly think for me, that's what happened with my ex, because he cheated on me with his ex, and it was someone that I was always like, while we were together, was like, are you sure there's no feelings? Are you sure there's no ties there? Because clearly like there's something there. There was like one random, I don't know if I ever mentioned this, but like we were hanging out watching a movie and she was calling him, and I'm like, why is this person calling you? He's like I have no idea, but like it would only be an emergency. And I'm like,
Did
and
he
I was
play
like,
it off?
he played it off, and then he like answered the phone, and he was like, she's not doing well, and kind of blamed it on some mental health issues. And I said, listen, you cannot be that person for her right now. Like, if you're with me, you need to say no, but here's someone else that can help you in this situation.
That
and I
infuriates
think
me to hear.
Yeah. Ew,
I
Kiara.
know.
I'm gonna throw up.
And I think in the moment, honestly, we were dating like a month or two, so it was really fresh. But I remember the moment being like, okay, that feels a little off. But like,
right.
if she's really, really struggling, I obviously don't want her to, hurt herself or whatever. I don't know where it was going. But like, I would obviously not want that. I'm also saying you can't be that person, that lifeline.
No.
And there's clearly that.
Well, and you also shouldn't want to be. You shouldn't want to be.
Exactly.
You should want to move on. You should.
You teach people how to treat you, and he was teaching her that he's someone that she can call, which he was, because he was dating her and living with her.
He was dating her.
Yeah.
So, yep. Dating her, living with her. I don't know really how you can live a double life like that, but that's just me.
You've got to be exhausted.
So anyways,
you just got to be exhausted. That's all I can come up with.
No, legit though. Okay, let's get into some of these stories, because some of them are long, some of them are short. So I might go with the short ones first. But speaking of the emotional, because there's the emotional and then the physical, type of cheating. Someone that we all know, not gonna name names, but she said an ex-boyfriend was definitely having an emotional relationship with her best friend. And so that's honestly the only one I got about like emotional cheating.
That's the worst.
But I know.
I guess it's not the worst, because there's more.
Yeah, not the worst actually, but still bad, but not the worst. Okay, this other girl said that she found out that he cheated because her boyfriend at the time accidentally texted her instead of the girl, the side piece. I know.
What did she say? What the text said?
I know.
So
she
nosy.
didn't.
So
she didn't. I wish that I knew.
It was probably like you up or something like that.
Probably.
You're so stupid.
Hey, you up? Okay, this one kind of, I got some clarity because I DM'd her afterwards, but I was a little confused. But initially she said, yes, I have been cheated on. My best friend at the time said that she and my boyfriend had missed me so much as to why, and that's why they cheated on each other with me. So I think that she was in college, and like the boyfriend and the friend were staying in like their
In their
city or whatever, and
yeah.
she like left, like, oh, we missed we missed you so much, we were hanging out, and then we just ended up like
That's
actually
so
I guess
gross.
with
despise
each
that.
other. I'm
I
like,
despise that, and that's the worst
That's so
excuse
bad.
I've ever heard in my life.
What is she
So
supposed to say?
bad.
Oh, thank you. Like that's flattering.
right, like
so
no,
bad.
You expressed
No,
your
thank
love
you.
for me through each other. Nope.
right,
Nope.
Okay. This is kind of a long one.
Okay.
Okay. She says, we weren't officially together, but we were definitely talking. And I was with my friend at the time, and she was saying, hey, see that guy over there? And I was like, yeah. She said, my sister is talking to that guy. And I said, no way. I'm talking to that guy. And so then we confronted him, and he said that he doesn't have any girlfriends, so it's not a big deal. So a couple of weeks passed by, and he keeps trying to talk to me. So I give him another chance. And then a week later, I found out that he is talking to one of my other friends. So I stopped talking to him again. And then prom rolls around, and we were the only two in the group left without a date. And so he asked me to go. So me being dumb said yes. So we're together and start talking again. And then he starts pulling away from me again, and and then breaks out the God card and says that he wants to focus on relationship with God, and then immediately starts talking to one of my other friends.
God.
Oh my gosh. Okay, listen. If you ever pull the God card, get out the
I
room.
can't.
Honestly, screw
Get out the
you.
room.
If you ever pull the God card,
Get out.
screw you.
Don't do
cannot.
that. Don't bring Jesus into
Also,
your messed up
that's
self.
so many
Seriously,
times.
that's so many times.
So many
Like,
times.
I don't want to make you
makes me
feel bad. I
sad.
really don't want to make you feel
Yeah,
bad.
we're not victim
whoever
shaming.
you
I
are,
know.
and we're not, and we're
No.
really not. But girl, there was a lot of red flags.
Oh,
That
the
was
beginning.
just
Like what? Like,
just thing after thing, and it makes me
that
so
sucks.
sad.
He better have been good
I
looking.
mean, it is like when you're like, but
That's
like,
the
okay, I'll
problem.
give
They
him another
usually are.
chance, and then pushes you down.
Yeah.
My gosh.
Poor thing. Well, hopefully
Um,
she's persevered, and we're never going back to that.
I wish you well.
Yeah, she is. She's married, happily married,
Ugh.
and has a kid.
Thank goodness.
She's doing great.
Thank goodness.
Praise God.
You know who you are.
Now we can
okay.
bring him in.
Now we'll
we can
bring God
him
in. Praise Him.
Now we can
Praise
bring him in. Actually, but it was kind of cute. I mean, it's kind of. Is this gonna out her? I don't think so. So she ended up marrying one of her neighbors,
Oh,
like from like later on in life, or like it was
one of
maybe
her
it was a
neighbors
guy
from growing up.
childhood. Yeah.
Oh, that's
And like
so
they ended up like getting
sweet.
together.
So
So she always like, I
cute.
married the boy next door, and I'm like, that's kind of cute.
Oh,
I
That's
know.
so cute.
Super sweet.
Oh, I
So
love that.
it worked out. All things work out for
Yeah.
good. Amen.
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 Um. Okay. This other one said that she had a 7-year relationship with this guy. He cheated on her like towards the end of the 7th year, and the new girl made him break things off with her in a text.
After
So essentially he broke up with her after 7 years via text. So that's really sad. And then obviously found out that he was also cheating.
Are they like? They better be like
So-
married now or something. Like he and this other girl, or like,
I know.
like that's insane. The level of
Bad.
disrespect.
Also, why are you dating for 7 years?
7 years. That's
Probably like high school. Like if you start, think about it. If you start
Oh,
like
gosh.
freshman year and you date like to your junior year of college,
That's too much.
that's like 7 years.
That's
so
too
long.
much.
That's so
Whoa,
long.
that's
No.
wild.
Okay, this other girl said that she was cheated on 7 times, which makes me so
Wait,
sad.
7
And like,
different
By the
people?
same guy or
I think by the same guy
Oh,
7 times.
Oh my god.
Like I guess 7, and she only found out because this is like someone I'm like in like a study with, I guess. I want to say it loosely so it doesn't really give it away. And I guess one of our other friends had like found out, and then like that's how she found out was through a friend. So I'm like, good on the friend though for like saying
Yeah,
something
totally.
because she probably wouldn't have known.
Guys,
Like it doesn't
tell.
seem like he had any more remorse.
Wow.
Guys, you need to tell. If someone is
Yeah.
cheating on you have to
Mhm.
tell. Do not sit by
Yeah.
and do nothing. Tell.
Or at least intervene in some way. Even like
Mhm.
convince him to,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
Okay, wait,
true.
so the same guy cheated on her 7 different, like with different women?
That's what I'm putting together. I don't know. I just
There
said
wasn't
7
enough detail.
times. There wasn't enough
It sounds like she
detail,
didn't know
so-
till after that all, though.
Ugh,
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I hate that.
In
for
my
her.
mind, I'm like
that's heart wrenching.
the same person 7 times, but I also I could definitely not be right.
I don't know.
Okay. This one, she said that she'd been cheated on, and she only found out because he told her 3 weeks after, because he literally had to. He had gone to the doctor and wasn't doing well.
What?
I know, and that's all it gives. That's all it gives. So no more details. But apparently, it says he told me 3 weeks after because he had to. He had gone to the doc and
He
wasn't
had a
doing
little
well.
rashy.
Yeah, he was having some
that's
stuff
what I think.
He had some
downstairs.
Having some stuff. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh
That's what I'm
my
thinking.
That's
not good.
survival of the least skanky right
Karma
there.
is
Karma is my boyfriend. Karma is a
Please.
god. Bringing God back in again.
My gosh. Okay, this one says that, okay, she has 2 different stories. And the first time was that she found out that her boyfriend at the time was cheating because she got a drunk call right after apologizing, right after he cheated on her, apologizing.
It's that post nut
Too
clarity.
much.
Come
Too much. Stop.
He was in the heat of the moment, and then he came out of the heat of the moment, and he was like,
gosh.
"Oh,
And he
what
was
do
like,
I do?"
Yeah, yikes. But
Hmm.
wait, did you say this
That's
was
so
just
bad.
once or this was twice?
This was I guess one time. The other time, same girl, but 2 different
okay.
scenarios.
Okay.
Not the same guy.
Not the same guy.
Okay.
Was that she got, or someone had called her because that person had walked in on her boyfriend and someone else at a party. So unfortunate.
That sucks. These stories make
I
me sad.
know.
How are we
I
gonna? We're gonna end this
know, I
podcast on a
know.
sad note.
I know. This is kind of a bummer.
Wow.
One was just like, yeah, switch time, and then I kind of like messaged her, and like it wasn't much, but and then there was another one. Girl said like, I only found out because I saw him at a bar very cozy with another girl. Come to find out they had been talking for a while. Bad. Another one.
She walked in on it.
And she walked in on at the bar.
Poor thing.
Talking is emotional cheating. Some people like
Yes.
at least like some guys that I've experienced this with, like with friends who've had this happen to, they like don't see anything wrong with it. But
Well, I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
You didn't do anything.
Yeah, okay, then show me your text messages to her.
Exactly. And a lot of guys are like, no, I don't want to show my Snapchat or my
Totally.
text. I'm like, you clearly have
Clearly
something to
something
hide
up.
then,
Obviously.
because you wouldn't not try to hide that.
You have a last one?
And then I have a second. Okay, I have 2 more. One just said that she found out because someone had texted her. One said that he had to just confess to me 2 years later, which kind of is like my story, because
2 years
I
later.
also was like, okay, you just like happened to tell me. Okay, this last one's kind of long, but I'm gonna
Get
say
into
it
it,
all,
yeah.
because she
Here
also
for it.
gave me. She also said that I could. She's in a happy relationship now, probably getting engaged soon
Yay,
to someone
okay.
else. But
Let's
she said it's
celebrate
not every
that.
day
We
I get
love
to
that.
rip on
Celebrate
my
that.
ex.
Yep.
So we're gonna rip on the ex,
Yep.
because that's what this
That's the
episode is
space
about.
right now.
And then we'll run it up. But okay, she said, basically, I was dating a guy end of high school and into college, but we were long distance because he signed to play football in another state. Man's realized as a football college player, he had girls throwing themselves at him. I was actually at a church on a Sunday morning when he randomly texted me during service and broke up with me. Again, these freaking texts.
hate that.
Why?
I can't. And then she said, I had a gut feeling that he cheated on me because he started his breakup text with, you know how they say if you open an umbrella inside, you get 7 years of bad luck? I've also never heard that saying, but
I have that. I
I
don't
guess that's what
understand
he
how
said.
that
I mean, I
relates.
have, but like I've heard like walk under a ladder.
I don't really,
Or break a
I don't really
mirror.
get it.
Either
Pretty
way,
much he's saying like,
crummy.
I guess I
crummy.
like I did this thing. Anyways, then she says, days after, he keeps sending me Snapchats of this girl in his dorm bed, even though we were broken up
Wait,
with. Like, why
what?
would you send me that? Like,
He's
so
sending that
crazy.
to her?
He's sending that to her
What the
after they
heck?
broke up.
That's so
Block
rude.
him.
And then she said, why send me that? Then we went no contact and blocked each other afterwards. A year later, that girl DM'd me and spent 3 hours on the phone telling me everything.
What?
Which I do feel like sometimes it's the guy confessing and sometimes it's the girl confessing, or it's a friend. I feel like there are a couple of these stories that are like, oh, I found out because I walked in or I saw them, but I really feel like that's so rare. It's only if someone else tells you, which is so heartbreaking because
Yeah.
I don't know, I've been there and I know that sucks, but like you just genuinely want to think the best of someone, obviously, that you're dating and see a future with this person.
Yeah.
So when that's literally shattered and someone's like, actually, they're not in this, it's gut wrenching and it makes me so sad. And it's like there's so many people out there that,
Yeah.
unfortunately have had to deal with that. And that takes a lot to overcome. So I'm proud of you all for sharing your stories. Thanks for letting us just
Yeah. Thank you.
put your stories on blast. And I know there's like so many more out there, but those were just some that I got. And it's like people also that you don't really think would like ever get cheated
Yeah.
on. You're like, oh my gosh, someone cheated on you. Like you think of the hottest celebrities too. And
Yeah.
I know I'm trying to think of who like the big one. They're like, if someone could
Beyonce?
cheat on, yeah, probably, yeah,
Oh my
that's probably who
gosh.
it is.
Yeah. That was
If
wild.
someone could cheat on Beyonce, then like I have no,
There's
I don't
no
know what I'm
hope
trying to
for
say.
me. Yeah.
But you know what I mean.
So
Um,
Taylor Swift. Okay. Haha. Taylor Swift. Everything relates to her.
Yeah.
She has like, have you heard of like those 3 songs on Folklore that are like all the same scenario but told by 3 different people? Do you guys
no.
know this?
I haven't, but I totally trust you.
Okay, so
Yeah,
the
I want to
songs
hear.
Betty, Cardigan, and August are all 3 about the same scenario, but told by each
Oh.
person in the love triangle's point of view. So the song Betty is from the
Interesting.
perspective of James, who is the
Hmm.
boy, obviously, in this scenario, and Betty is his like girlfriend, and he's singing to her, trying to get her back because he cheated on her.
Mm.
And so he
Mm.
like it's like if I just show up at your party, will you have me? Will you want me? Will you kiss me on the porch in front of all your friends? Like it's like, will you take me back? And then the song Cardigan is from Betty's perspective of like I thought I knew who you were, when I felt like I was a cardigan under someone's bed, you put me on and said I was your favorite. When you're young, they assume you know nothing. Like it's like her perspective of like being hurt and thinking like being like disillusioned. And then
Yeah.
August is from the other girl's perspective. And so it's like, and Taylor keeps going back and forth between calling her like Augusta and like Augustine, and like she doesn't really have like a name for her necessarily. But the point is like in the cheating dynamic, we want to blame the other like girl, or like if you're a guy and your girlfriend cheats on you, you want to blame the other guy. But like we're all just searching for that love. And like August, like
Yeah.
in that song, she like thinks that he's like going to leave Betty for her, and so of course she's like still like what does she say like in the song? Oh my gosh, why can't I think of the song?
Oh,
I slipped away. Yeah, because but you
Oh,
were
really? That was
yes, that's it. But you were never mine. Yes, like
mine.
yeah,
Yeah.
you weren't
Shoot.
mine to lose. Like so she like lost him, but like he was never hers anyways. Like that, like wanting that love. And so even if you're listening and you have been the other girl or you are the other girl, like know that there's love out there for you too, and you don't have to settle for like
No.
giving all of your
yes.
heart to someone who's giving you half.
That's really good, Mare.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's really
I love
good.
that. I love that.
Frick, I almost feel like we should
Taylor's
wrap it
so
up
good.
there because I thought you were gonna go and sing some more of it. I was like, all right, this now concludes.
Well, and that's
karaoke
so
sesh.
funny because Kiara literally just had a Instagram post that August really did slip away.
I did. That was my
really did
August
slip
dumb.
away.
So funny.
But like for real though, August really did. I had no creative juices, and then that came to mind. I was like,
I like it.
No, I liked it because
Swifties
like I'm not even
like
like
it.
being cliche. August literally went by in a blink of an eye.
It really
I'm
did.
not kidding.
literally did
Like a
slip
bottle of
away.
wine.
It's insane.
Oh.
You were never mine. You know
Is
what I
that-
mean?
Easier in mind. Yeah, those are
Is
the
it-
lyrics.
Was that in the lyrics?
Yeah.
Oh.
or
I think it was just
also like
July.
a
I don't
moment
know.
in time?
August
Okay.
slipped away.
Should we do Mare brings down the mood?
Mare brings down the mood.
Mare brings down the mood.
Mare brings down the mood.
Okay, let
What
me
do you got
find-
today for us, Mayor?
Let me find my little end segment things. Okay. the three of us are in the Hunger Games.
Uh-oh.
Who's making it
dying.
out alive? And what I want to know what each of our strategies would be. And then the other one is a show or a plot that you wish turned out differently. For example,
Ooh, I have an example that immediately came to my head.
Okay,
Don't give me any
okay,
examples.
okay.
Let's
Don't
do
give me
that
any
one.
examples.
really, you
Let's
want to
do
do that
that
one?
one.
Okay. Okay. Casey.
Go, Case.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is literally the most cliche thing you've ever heard, and you guys are all going to be out there rolling your eyes. I know you guys are probably going to roll your eyes, but also, Kiara, I think you're going to sympathize with this one specifically because I
Okay.
heard you wailing through the wall in college.
No, I know exactly what
After
you're
you
talking
watched
about.
this.
Oh, no.
Oh, we thought you were
Oh, no.
dying.
Grey's Anatomy.
Guys, I'm gonna actually I have a video of this. We're gonna post this video of Kiara
Oh,
yes,
weeping.
we are.
You probably thought someone
Okay,
actually
so-
died
so
in my family.
Mare
Oh, my
and
word.
I think we were in your room, Mare, like laying on your bed or like
Yeah.
just whatever, like hanging out, and then all of a sudden we hear like through the wall, and
It was
these
bad.
are
Through the wall.
cement, concrete.
They're cinder
walls.
blocks.
And we were like,
Oh,
we were like, oh
no.
my gosh, you hear that? And so we're like, oh my, I think that's Kiara. So we go in there, and she's laying on the bed just wailing.
I'm physically there.
That's
Like,
so
I'm there in my
funny.
head.
And so for those of you who haven't seen Grey's Anatomy, there is a lot of stuff
Spoiler
that goes down.
alert.
There's millions and millions and millions upon seasons of whatever. Okay. Oh my god.
I have it.
Stop. Put that in our chat.
What just happened?
Okay, and also I wasn't prepared. I don't think I had I told everyone don't tell me what happens. This was my first time watching through. Spoiler alert, obviously
Obviously, he
Shepherd
dies.
dies.
Sorry.
obviously he dies. And I have probably never cried harder in my
No,
life.
I know. We remember.
into it.
We remember. So I just remember so Penny was the doctor who was on call that night and
Penny,
didn't check his
hate
brain.
Penny.
when she
Hater,
should
hater,
have.
hater.
And I remember him, he's talking through in
Worst.
his brain, ooh, she's smart. She should do that. And then the main doctor was like, no, you shouldn't do that. You're stupid, blah, 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 or whatever. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, A, so many people have died on this show. B, please don't take away the one good thing we have left. You know
Yeah.
what I
Exactly.
mean? Obviously we love Meredith. She's the only reason why the show's literally still going to
She's
this day.
not even there anymore, right? Didn't they
I
write her
think
off?
she's off now.
Is she? Okay.
I
I
think so.
kind of gave
I
up
mean-
after season 17, I think.
This is season 45, right?
Yeah, I don't know. After COVID, it was so COVID-y.
No one
I
wants
was
to
living
watch a
COVID.
show about COVID while you're living COVID.
Exactly. And I was like, I want to
No.
watch you to escape what's going on, but it was anyway.
I think
so
they
I kind
lost
of gave
a lot
up
of
then.
people. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they did. But anyway, he ended up dying, and it was so dumb because life was about to be so good for them, and they had built the house and they had their kids, and
The heart wrenching part is that Meredith was pretty stoic during it too. She was
Yeah.
very just solid and
well,
obviously she cried.
She turned into her mom. She turned into her
Yeah.
mom.
Yeah.
Which-
Yeah.
Then you kind of have this
That's
love-hate
so
relationship with her
sad.
because literally I want you crawling on the ground in a
I'm
ball.
in a fetal position right now. Why aren't
I
you?
want you to
Right.
just lose it because I'm losing it. And
Right.
I,
I,
don't
want you to
know.
look like me.
I feel like A, I didn't want him to die, and I've already done an A and B list, but here's my second list. A, I didn't want him to die, obviously.
and 3.
B, you need to act like the love of your life, like you have said, just died. If Bryce
Yeah.
freaking died, I
Oh
would
my gosh.
I would tear my clothes off and gnashing of teeth and wailing. I would just lose
I'd
my
tear
mind.
my clothes off and jump on top of him.
Yeah, and, take me with you. I know that's dramatic,
Stop.
but I don't
That's
know.
so dramatic.
Their love was apparently this great love, which also was built on cheating and
know.
my time.
Actually,
That's
Whoa, full
true.
circle. Wink, wink.
But
Full
I don't know. I
circle.
just felt like we could have handled that better. And I understand, you need to keep the plot interesting, but that just made me mad.
yeah.
I agree.
Anyway, that's mine.
That's a good one,
Thanks.
actually. Okay, Casey, that is a really, really good one. And
Thank
I
you.
feel like I want to take that, but obviously I can't because you just did. That's near and
True.
dear to me. Also, did I tell you that I'm rewatching Grace?
Oh, I
Are you
was just
really?
thinking about
Season
doing
6.
that.
Yeah.
What if?
Yeah,
what
you
an
should.
adventure!
It's
What an adventure!
so good.
I probably should.
I know
too,
I'm locked in
actually.
for like 10 years because
Totally.
there's so many seasons, but we're gonna make it.
Okay.
Okay, this is a movie I watched recently, and I feel like I would have changed the plot. I also had no idea what it was about. And this movie is A Star is Born. I had no idea what was going to happen in it at
I'm
all.
crying thinking
And
about it.
I was so upset at the ending. I get it's like part of the whole story, but it made me so mad how he
Casey, have you seen it?
like-
Why are you like not reacting?
have you yeah.
You haven't
You
seen
haven't
it?
You haven't seen
Are you
it?
joking?
The one with Lady Gaga?
It's so good. Even Noah's seen it, and he hasn't even seen The Lion King.
Okay, well, now I
the
can't
only
actually
reason
say
why
what I
I
was
never
going to say.
no, the only reason why I never watched it is because everyone was obsessed with that song, and anytime someone is like obsessed with something, I remove myself from it, and I wait
Because
until
you're
the
just
hype
so
dies
quirky
down.
and different.
I
You
wait until the
hate
hype dies down, and then
mainstream.
I'll circle back and I'll come back to it.
Well, it's about time because so did I.
It's been like 5 years, so get on it because it is
I think it's
amazing. Weeping.
It's on like I think it's on Hulu.
It's somewhere. It's on some
Or HBO.
mainstream.
well. How
streaming
about
service.
this? I will watch it and I'll report back
Ugh.
next week. Okay. In the meantime,
Well-
I will take my headphones off so you can continue the conversation.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, so that
yes.
you can
That says a
actually
lot.
continue,
We'll give
and
you
then
an okay when you can come back.
I
Yeah,
promise you that I will watch it and I will come back and give you my full
Okay.
review.
You have 1 week.
You have 1 week.
go.
Yeah.
Okay, it just made me really mad how he got her essentially,
Yeah.
fell in love with each other, but he like brought her into his mess so much that he felt like the best thing he could do was to commit suicide.
Yeah. He brought
And
her
I-
into it to abandon her in it.
Yes. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's the most selfish thing you can do.
Totally.
There's one thing to fall in love with someone and like when you know that you're not
I'll
okay,
never love
but not to
again.
like, oh my gosh,
that song. Oh my god.
That song, the songs were so good. Like that is the one thing. The
Yeah.
songs were so good, but like honestly, sitting watching the movie, I was like, I'm so mad. I was so
I'm
mad.
pissed.
So many points of the movie,
Yeah.
and I feel like I get it's part of the story, but I'm like, if he would have lived and like gone through his shit, and I know that's like not real life, but if he would have, then like they could have had a great love story.
Totally.
But there was just so much toxicity. There was so much struggle that he wasn't.
He was
able
just
to,
so
like,
upset about his
overcome.
freaking like his hearing, like losing his hearing.
Yeah.
That was like
Yeah.
all consuming. He like lost that part of him, and so then it was like all downhill.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just sucks. Also,
one's-
side note, Lady Gaga, beautiful voice, really hard to watch sing. Her face,
That's fair.
it's like a like
That's fair.
it's almost like it's like she's giving birth, kind of.
Casey's singing in the background. Actually, that's like really good. I will say I agree. And also she looks so good with natural makeup. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like with,
yes,
like her
without her
whole-
meat suit, yeah,
Yes. With just like
totally.
casual clothes. I say casual. I don't know what casual is for her, but like in the movie casual clothes.
Yeah,
And just like very minimal makeup. Casey's trying to eat spaghetti because we told her to
little
take
does
over
she know,
headphones.
we're gonna make this the short. We're gonna make this.
I can come back.
You can
Yes.
come back. She can't even hear us actually. So I don't know why we just
Oh
said
yeah,
that. But
we just screamed that.
um,
You know,
you can come back.
I had
I've been
my-
doing this
you
for the
can
last
blame
like
it
2
all
minutes.
on me. Oh, I was too into my spaghetti and meatballs.
My favorite new one is the Arizona sky. Arizona
What?
sky, something in your eyes, something like that. I forget what the actual title is, but that's the beginning of the song, and it's so good. This
Oh.
ballad.
I'm sure I'll hear it on our
Anyway.
besties playlist. I actually listen to that
Yeah.
quite a bit.
Do you?
I like
Oh,
that
I need to
playlist.
circle back to
Did
that.
you-
I
Every time
haven't
there's a
heard
country
that in a
song
while.
that swipes up on there, I quick take it out.
Can I, okay, I was gonna say, did
Who's
you
putting the
eliminate
country in
enough
there?
of the? You must
Well,
not
okay,
have been
here's the
listening
thing.
to it for a while, Kiara. 'cause-
I don't listen
I
to a
haven't.
lot of country except when like so like there probably is this week because on our road trip, like my phone's connected and when Noah's driving, he'll like play off of there, you know. And he loves his
Mm.
country. He's a country boy.
Country boy. I have been into Luke. No, not Luke Bryan. I always say that. Zach
Luke Combs,
Bryan.
Zach Bryan. Honestly,
Bryan?
different kind of country. Yes,
Different
That's
kind
like
of country. What
Zach
is that?
Bryan. It's outlaw country. It's Tyler
Oh.
Childers.
Yeah.
Zach Bryan. It's like a different. It's so good. It's not like
what is it?
Morgan Wallen.
Outlaw?
yeah.
Dang, Outlaw. I need
There's
to write that
there
down.
I have a TikTok on it. I'll send it to you guys. It's very good.
Yeah,
the history of like
please.
outlaw music and why it's like why it's so good that it's like resurging.
I always
Anyways,
so good.
love a
Okay.
little music history.
Mare?
Mine is I don't have much to say about it because I don't really like that this is mine. Okay, you guys
okay.
know I claim I feel like I'm pretty feminist. Like I believe in female empowerment. I believe, all that. But when I think of a plot in a movie that I want to change, it's whenever I was a little girl and I went to movie theater with my Aunt Carm to watch The Princess Diaries 2, I was so upset that she didn't get married at the end of it.
Oh.
I was so upset. And
That's a
now
good
as a
one.
27-year-old independent woman, I can understand that was important because she needed to prove no, she can
Yeah.
run this country on her own.
Mhm.
But still, why not like show that they're like dating or something, Like I don't know.
Yeah.
That just the movie I walked out and I was like, "What?"
I
That's
kind of
not a
forget
happy
the
ending.
full ending. Like,
Well,
what is the last?
I think we were all
scene?
disappointed from the first one where she doesn't end up with Lily's
With
brother.
with the guy. Yeah.
Yeah, she
his
does,
name?
doesn't she?
I mean, like
They're like dancing.
like kind of, but like
But
then
didn't-
the next
they didn't
movie,
kiss,
and then
did they?
yeah they
They
do.
aren't together in the next one.
But then the next
Yeah.
movie, it's like it starts off immediately. It's like we're just good friends, and it was like, well,
Yeah,
what was
that's
that all
true.
about?
But then you have that other love interest, and he was kind of cute.
So then in Princess Diaries 2,
Pine.
there's like Andrew, yes, who's Chris Pine. It's like Count
I
Andrew
actually just
Mayberry or
rewatched
something
this
like
movie
that.
recently. That's really funny.
No way.
Really?
Yeah.
But they like there's like always a little flirty, but there's nothing really there. His uncle wants him to take the throne, so they're kind of enemies.
Oh.
Like his uncle is like the is an antagonist, the like bad guy in the story. He like wants Andrew to take the throne, so he's trying to make it so
That's
that she
right.
doesn't get married.
That's right.
But then she gets engaged to this one other guy who's just really like vanilla. Like he's great. He's a great guy. He's some pilot.
So
Vanilla.
sweet, so sweet.
So sweet. And you could tell too, he's like, I don't not that he's not into it, but he's not
He's-
thrilled.
Yeah.
But anyways, then at their wedding, she's like, no, I just can't do this. And then she's like, you know what? I'm going to change the law. My grandma's been running this country by herself. Why can't I? So I guess she does.
Honestly,
Yeah.
maybe it is a good message.
I
I
mean,
do agree.
it is a
You
great
want- you're
message. That's the
romantic,
thing is,
you
like,
want it to
I-
end differently.
I
though.
don't really want it to change.
Didn't they
but
kiss,
I want
though?
it to change.
Didn't they kiss at the end? Her and Chris Pine.
I don't think so.
feel
Maybe
like
they did.
they
I hope so. But
Should.
I just watched it, and clearly it
Sure.
didn't stick with me.
I need
It's
to
fine.
rewatch that.
But like
That's a good
maybe
one.
if you know how they did like a little like flash forward, miracles happen in the first one.
Mhm.
If they did a little flash forward in the end of that movie
yeah.
and would have shown her like being like diplomatic and like go off queen, but then
Yeah.
like
Not the
him,
go-off
I know,
queen.
but then him being like, hey, you want to get married, whatever.
Yeah.
Like then it would have been like you get both because like
we
she's
just need
doing,
a third movie.
I know.
Yeah, maybe
We just
that's
need
what
the
we
third.
need.
Well,
Honestly, there's a lot of like reruns of things and like things coming back. Maybe that's where we get
Julie
our happy
Andrews
ending.
was recently interviewed, and
What'd she
she
say?
said it was maybe spoken about, but at this point, she said, "I just don't think it's going to happen," which really broke my heart.
She's the best.
She looks amazing.
the day she dies,
also.
I'm gonna
Oh,
be
no,
so sad.
I will watch
I'm gonna probably take off
all of her
I'm gonna
movies.
Probably take on PTO.
I will watch all of her movies and just sit and cry all day. She's.
I mean, I will be sad, but I don't know if I'm gonna mourn.
You're not gonna
oh,
mourn.
so you're
I don't
not
know.
a human.
So not a real fan.
I mean, I don't know. I'll
So-
be sad because she's great,
You
but
know,
I'm not gonna like cry. Probably
every year, once a year, I still cry about Michael Jackson's death.
You don't. You do.
Oh,
not.
I do.
Shut
I do.
up.
I'm not kidding. Every year, it creeps up on me once a year. I don't know when it's gonna hit. Don't know, but I will cry once a year about Michael Jackson. I don't care.
So funny. That is the funniest
Please
fact
laugh.
I've ever heard.
Please
I've
laugh.
never.
I will not.
That's
I will
so
never
funny.
stop
Never heard
mourning his
that.
death. I will never stop. Julie Andrews is absolutely 100% up there. She
She's up there for
cultivated
me.
my
Wow.
childhood. A spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go
That
down.
is-
My goodness, I begged my mom to let me try a spoonful of sugar.
Never
after
seen
I
that
took medicine.
movie.
Oh.
I saw the in Sioux Center they had the musical of that last summer, so I went to see that. But
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
But thoughts?
oh, it was
Don't
good.
even compare.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't want to hear your review. I don't wanna
Maybe
hear it.
I was gonna say maybe don't answer that actually
Okay,
because
You have to watch Mary Poppins.
I love
might
the
be a
Sound of
little-
You
Music.
have to
though.
watch.
I will
You have
say.
to watch Mary
that
Poppins
one was
this
so
week.
good.
That's your.
Okay, yeah,
You
yeah.
have to.
Kiara
Okay,
loves the Sound
Mary-
of Music.
Mary Poppins. You have to watch whatchamacallit, A Star Is Born.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know what movie I have to watch. I'll just keep watching Grays.
Yeah.
I'll just
and keep us
continue watching
You
Grays.
keep watching Grays. Keep us updated, like what's happening
'Kay.
and stuff, and
Mhm.
yeah.
just kind of walk us through it.
Oh,
I will
can I
prob-
tell
yeah.
you right now with where I'm at?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Just because it's fresh and it's probably the biggest thing. Do you remember when Meredith kind of steals, like I'm doing air quotes, Zola, and then she like has to give her back to
You're
the
already
adoption
there?
lady?
You're
I'm kind of cruising. I'm
Oh
I'm
my
not gonna
gosh.
lie.
Oh,
And
are
then
you
Chief
getting
Weber
sleep?
just stepped down. What?
Are you getting sleep?
No, honestly, it hasn't been as bad as the first time. I was like literally dreaming about it because I watched it so much, and I was like felt like I was in a real world simulation of Grace. It's not that bad. I will watch like 1 or 2 episodes a night, which I feel like is okay. It's kind of my wind down.
It is probably like while you're doing stuff too, a little
Yeah,
bit. Like,
yeah. I'm not like sitting and watching. I'm like
Right.
getting ready for either getting ready for the day or winding down from the day. But
Yeah.
the last time I watched it for the first time ever, I was like glued to my phone to the point where I'm like I could not stop.
No, I
watching
remember.
It was
Like
just
you
so
weren't doing
addicting.
homework. I remember you went
No.
through a short period where you stopped
Did
your
I even
scholastic
turn in
endeavors.
anything?
I don't know.
Oh no!
I didn't really have tabs on
Yeah,
you
it
at
was
that
bad.
point. You were
That's
kind of
so
checked
funny.
out.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go to the
gonna actually-
library to do homework. Sits and watches Grays
Sits
for
and-
hours.
oh. I still do that. I'm like I'm gonna go work out. I just lay down on the turf, just watch
Oh my
watch
gosh.
Grace. Wait, I'm actually gonna look up
That's
how
really
far
funny.
I'm at. Where am I? Season 8, episode 3.
Holy crap! When did you start?
Um,
Did you actually start from the beginning too?
I started from the beginning. I honestly don't know. I mean, it was probably last fall. Last fall, maybe. Yeah, last fall. So it's probably been a year. I want to say. Yeah.
Why did I
well,
think
that was
you
a
just
fun.
started this like last
Yeah,
week?
that was.
Oh no, I didn't start that recent. But
Oh, that
anyway, that was a
super
fun little end segment. I liked that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mare.
Well, again, thanks everyone for writing in your stories. Thanks, Kiara, too, for
Yeah.
being so vulnerable and
Yes.
sharing all of that.
Oh yes.
Snaps.
We're here to help each other and let us know
Yeah.
what other topics you'd like us to
Yeah,
talk about.
that was
If you have
super
anything
Fun hearing from you guys.
pressing, I love
Yeah.
hearing stories. So, and we'd love to talk about it. So, if you have anyone to put on blast, no, I'm kidding. But if you really have any specific story you want to anonymously,
Hey,
No,
well,
really,
don't
if you have,
forget
like, a
to
story,
email
so-
us. It's been foreverpod
Yeah.
at Gmail. Leave a review. I don't know. We just want to hear from you.
yes, we do. Thanks for listening, guys.
Bye.
Bye.